A year had passed since Claire Donovan's murder. Brookhaven had gone back to its routines. Coffee brewing at May's Diner, children biking past the courthouse, church bells marking each quiet hour. From the outside, the town looked healed. But inside its people, there was a silence too heavy to be peace. A silence that clung like fog to everything Claire had touched. Detective Eli Sanderson thought he'd made peace with it too. The case had been closed. The killer, Claire's own brother, Ryan Donovan, was serving 25 years in prison. The file was stamped and shelved. Until the morning the envelope arrived. A plain manila envelope, unmarked except for a single line written in red ink. "You stopped too soon." Inside was a flash drive. And everything changed again. Sanderson waited until the station cleared for the night before plugging it in. A single video file appeared. Grainy security footage dated March 14, 2021, the night Claire disappeared. The footage showed Claire in her office, pacing with her phone pressed to her ear. He'd seen this clip before. But there was something new. A figure outside the frosted glass door. A tall man in a dark jacket, with a city maintenance patch on his sleeve. Sanderson paused, leaned forward, zoomed in. The badge nameplate came into view. J. Latham. Jeff Latham. The same contractor Claire had been investigating before she vanished. The same man who'd walked free after Ryan's confession. And the timestamp showed him there 20 minutes after the time Ryan claimed Claire was already dead. For months, Sanderson had convinced himself Ryan's story made sense. The argument, the panic, the cover-up. It was ugly, but it fit. Now, the evidence told him something else. Claire might not have died the way everyone believed. The next day, he reopened the case file in secret. The air in the records room felt stale, heavy with dust and forgotten truths. He pulled up Latham's old statement. Polite, rehearsed, airtight. Alibi confirmed by a dinner in Nashville. But Sanderson remembered how smooth he'd been, how unbothered. Too perfect, he muttered. He compared timestamps. The drive from Brookhaven to Nashville was 2 hours. If Latham had left after that footage was recorded, he couldn't possibly have been where he claimed to be. Someone had covered for him. Brookhaven had always been good at keeping its mess hidden. Latham's company had built half the town's new developments. The city council adored him. Charming, generous, a pillar of the community. But Claire had discovered the truth. Hidden in her files, she'd found invoices and signatures that led to fake companies. City money funneled into offshore accounts. She'd called the project Sunlight. And now, in this new footage, it looked like Sunlight wasn't finished exposing what it started. Sanderson drove to Latham's construction yard at dusk. The place was quiet, trucks parked in neat rows. He found Latham's office locked, lights off, except for the faint glow of a TV inside. He knocked. No answer. The next morning, Latham was gone. If Sanderson wanted answers, there was only one person left who might have them. Ryan Donovan. He hadn't seen him since the sentencing. Then he'd looked angry, defiant. Now, in the visitation room, Ryan looked hollow, thinner, sunken. Sanderson slid a photo of the footage across the table. Ryan stared at it for a long moment before whispering, "You found him." Sanderson's pulse quickened. "You mean Latham?" Ryan nodded slowly. "He came to the house that night. Claire told me to stay out of it, but I heard them fighting. She had proof he was stealing. She said she was going to the DA in the morning." He rubbed his temples, his voice cracking. "I tried to calm her down. Then he hit her. Panic. He told me to take the blame. Said he'd fix it. Said it'd look better for the family if it came from me." "Why would you agree to that?" Ryan looked up, tears cutting through the exhaustion. "Because he said he'd kill me too." Sanderson didn't know whether to believe him. But he knew one thing. If Claire had discovered Latham's corruption once, she might have kept more evidence hidden. So he found Marcy Hill, Claire's former assistant. She'd left town after the trial, moving 2 states away to escape the whispers. When he told her about the footage, she froze. "She told me about a backup drive," Marcy said. Said if anything ever happened to her, it would finish what she started. I thought she was just being paranoid. She described exactly where it was hidden, behind a framed photo of Claire's parents in her old office. That office had sat untouched for over a year, sealed off like a shrine. That night, Sanderson pried open the back of the frame. Inside was a small black external drive labeled, in Claire's handwriting, "Sunlight returns." The drive contained hundreds of documents, bank transfers, contracts, scanned IDs. And one file caught Sanderson's attention immediately. Latham Confidential MP3. He pressed play. Claire's voice came through, calm but tense. "If something happens to me, it's because of this. Latham's stealing millions through city contracts. And he's not doing it alone." Another voice cut in, deeper, male, cold. "You shouldn't have looked, Claire." The audio ended abruptly with a loud crash. Sanderson sat frozen. The file's timestamp was the night of her death. By dawn, Sanderson had pieced it together. Latham wasn't just corrupt. He was protected. The forged signatures on the contracts. They belonged to a county treasurer and 2 council members, all of whom had voted to fund Latham's projects. The police captain who'd signed off on closing Claire's case early. His brother worked for Latham Construction. It wasn't just one man's greed. It was a system of silence. Sanderson took the evidence to the district attorney. But within 24 hours, his report was flagged under review, and he was placed on administrative leave for breach of protocol.